Hello, my little lovebirds. TonyaTko here. And today we're going to discuss a topic which I didn't want to have to speak about, but it's been troubling my soul for so many days that even though I do not have the time to make this video, I'm making the time because right now there's a young lady out there who needs to hear this information. So I'm making the video, and right now there's some young men out there who need to hear this information too. Today we're going to talk about the war on sex and how your body is the booty. For those of you who don't know that the term booty originally was an old pirate term meaning treasure or gift, something that you gain from the spoils of your exploits. So I want to talk to you girls about a situation that I came into contact with. And for those of you who don't know, I'm in the process of writing a book, and I would like for all of you who want the information to get on the mailing list. This is the book right here. Lessons from a Motherless Child. 10 most crucial secrets about love, sex, and self-esteem I learned the hard way so that you don't have to. And you know what? Listen, I'm going to make my very first disclaimer because there are going to be some men out there who are going to be very angry by the information that we're going to talk about. And let me just say this. I'm not referring to all men, but I would be remiss if I ignored that there are certain types of men out there who are feeding and leeching off of the female populace. And I want to just make my sisters hip. My little sisters out there, hip to the game. Now you, my brother, you are welcome by all means to teach your daughters whatever it is that you want to teach them, because you know we got some duplicity going on out there in the community where we have these male advice people who are giving women advice on how to keep a man, and then on the other hand giving men advice on how to use a woman. Now a lot of these male relationship experts are unmarried themselves and have no indication of any type of healthy relationships with friends or otherwise in their lives, and yet they're giving advice. The advice that they're giving are not telling men, oh, how to have wonderful relationships and take care of your woman and live happily ever after. Instead, they're teaching them how to use, how to seduce, and then how to toss out these girls. And then on the other hand, they're like, girls, this is what you need to do to keep a man. And then can you imagine why there's a conflict of interest? Because the stuff that they're telling women, surprise, surprise, all relates to what it is that hoops she needs to jump through. Because the game is, girls, this is how you keep a man, and men, this is how you ditch women. That's part of the game, and unfortunately that's what's going on out there. Me, I'm your love guru, and what I talk to you about is first and foremost loving yourself, because when you have that self-love, everything else comes as a result of that. And this is my book being published in 10 different volumes. The very first volume is on self-esteem. It's going to be out in ebook format in the next 2 weeks. The link on how to get on the mailing list is below, because like I said, this information is not for everybody. There's going to be some stuff in there that are going to make people mad. When people watch this video, there's going to be a portion of the male populace and also the female populace that is going to be angered by my information. And this is why my book is going to be published privately for those of you who want the secrets. Because listen, when it comes to me or any other person out there who's spewing any type of advice, and this goes, listen, I'm in the category too. Don't listen to anything that is against your psyche. Don't listen to anything that is against your spirit. If I, TonyaTko, your love guru, ever says anything that goes against who you are and your core beliefs and what it is that you feel deep down on the inside in your soul, honey, then don't listen to me, okay? Because the information that I give comes from my heart straight to yours. And if I ever say anything that doesn't resonate with you, push it out. That goes for me and anybody else, because there's a lot of young ladies out there who are confused, and a lot of young men out there who are confused. And I'm going to tell you, I was raised with my father. I was raised with older brothers, and I was raised with cousins, and it was from seeing this. Honey, it was from seeing the way that they got down. It was from hearing what it is that I heard the elders, the older men in the family, tell the younger guys. And honey, I don't know if this is a black thing. I don't know if this is a Caribbean thing, because I'm black, I'm Caribbean, and this came to me as being something that was normal. So I don't know what it's like in any other communities. So when I tell you this story, I want you to listen, and I want you to hear me, that I'm talking from my experiences, not only as a black American woman who was raised in a household with men, but also as a woman who comes to but with men seeking advice from me. And I want to tell you about a little bit of advice that someone asked me for quite recently. So so I'm going to make my disclaimer. As I said, I'm not talking about all, but there are certain subsets of the population to whom this feels or seems normal. And until we cut off this cancer at the base, at its core, this situation is going to perpetuate itself throughout our community. And the reason why I'm giving this information is because, like I said, I was raised with a father, and my father talked to me about how to keep myself safe and how to keep myself from being used. And it was from this information that right now I'm not a baby mama. I got my college education. I did not drop out of school. I have had my heart broken a time or two, but these are the things that I had to learn through the school of hard knocks, because nobody can protect you from the lessons that you need to learn to become the woman that you are supposed to be, or the man that you are supposed to be. But some of these lessons can be infused through advice. I didn't have anybody on the female side to advise me. And I thought, oh, maybe there were some things that my father was talking about that he exaggerated about. Maybe it just wasn't really true. Maybe it didn't really exist. But it exists. And I'm out here because I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that it existed. Are you ready? We're going to talk about the war on sex and how your body is the booty. One of the, not even, the most sacred tool of bonding that has been bestowed upon us human beings is being used as a weapon. And it's unfortunate. A young man came to me. How can I really call him young? He's in his 30s. He came to me seeking advice. He said, you know, this girl is not cooperating with me. I've been trying everything and she won't give me a chance. So, you know, my ears perk up. He needs some advice. Let me hear this scenario. He's telling me, oh, he's tried everything to win her over. She's not paying him no mind. He's, he's been, trying to get with her for quite some time now. As we were talking, she texted him. And he said, oh, now this is a guy that I work with. He gets a text and he's like, oh, as a matter of fact, that's her texting me right now. And I'm like, she's texting you. Well, it seems like, she's giving you a chance or whatnot. She's texting you. He says that she texts him several times a day, every day, to check on him, to see how he's doing, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, in my ear, now what's that? Something doesn't seem right about this scenario, does it? So I delved deeper. I said, well, if she's texting you and she's checking on you and she's communicating with you, what do you mean that she won't give you a chance? I'm confused. Hear what he says. He says that she won't let him inside. So I'm like, she won't let you inside. I asked him to please elaborate. Basically, this is just so sad and so disgusting that I can't even believe that I have to have this conversation. But hear me and listen to me. He says that she won't let him inside. She won't give him a chance to let him into her heart or her body. Main thing, her body. And I'm like, well, so now I have to hear him out, because the best way to hear is the best way to learn is to listen. So I'm listening to him. Not because I want to learn anything in particular, because I kind of had a feeling where this was going, but because I wanted to learn where he was coming from and his mentality, because I've because I wanted to savor the opportunity to be able to discuss this situation ad nauseum with this man. So he tells me that she won't let him into her heart, and he says that the woman has told him that she is hurt, fragile, and that she has a lot of problems. So this is what he tells her. He says, you know what, baby? I can't promise to solve all of your problems, but I can promise to, oh, no, he doesn't even promise. He says, I can't promise to solve all of your problems, but I can be there with you so we can face them together. So I start to question. I say, be there how? In what way? And he says, just be there for her, etc., etc. And I say, to what end? Mind you, hear more. Hear more. He has a woman at home who he's going to marry. He's an African American man. And you know what? The reason why I was asking these questions is because he has been very honest with me. He's dating a Caucasian woman, and he discussed his reasons with me for why it is that he's decided to date and to marry a Caucasian woman, and how he's felt about black women, and how he, the feeling of esteem he has, knowing that he has one of white America's prime pickings, because his girl is not fat and she's gainfully employed and all this other stuff. So he's very happy to be dating a Caucasian woman. And this woman adores him. She waits for him at home, and she does any and everything that he wants her to do. But yet, he's still out here on the prowl. And this, I'm very confused by. And he says, well, and I said, and I explained to him, I said, well, you have a woman at home who you're going to marry. So when you say that you're going to be here for her, I don't really understand what you mean by that, because you won't really be there for her, because you're going to go off and get married whenever it is that you decide that you and your woman are going to settle down with one another. I'm like, you don't have any plans for the future with this young lady. So he goes on to say, well, I can be there for her right now. Okay. So I explained to him, I said, you're going to devastate this young woman. She's already, I'm like, how much more honest do you need her to be? She's come to you and she's told you that she has been hurt, that she has problems, and that she's fragile. And he says, I told him, I said, you're going to devastate her and have her pre-suicidal. That's what I told him, because he's already had one woman attempt to commit suicide over him. He, just to give you some more background, he has 2 children already, not married to any of the mothers. And he told me a story that involved him and a woman whose heart he broke, an Indian woman whose heart he broke. And he said, well, Indian women are just very passionate or whatnot. And she drank some poison to kill herself from the heartache that she felt as a result of the devastation from that relationship. And I'm like, wasn't that enough for you? And he says that to this day, the woman has gastrointestinal issues, that she's just like, she's not right inside. She's in a coma. She can't walk properly, but she's injured herself for life as a result of this relationship she had with this man. So he basically, he's like, well, Indian women are they're very passionate, and that really had nothing to do with him, because she was just a little bit off. She was, a little crazy or whatnot. And I'm like, so no culpability, no responsibility, it's on her. She was just too passionate. So I said, you know what? This woman, and I told him about I was like, this girl, you're going to have her pre-suicidal over the situation. She's telling you she's in a fragile state, and that's why she doesn't want to let you in. I'm like, she has every right not to want to let you in. You know what he says to me? Listen to this foolishness. Listen, he says, man, she'll be all right. Women are strong. And women like to have sex too! Exclamation point. Women like to have sex too. So that's his excuse. He's like, she'll be all right. You know, she might be a little heartbroken at first, but, you know, she'll get over it. This is his rationale. And I'm like, you know, what you're doing is not an act of love. I'm like, this is an act of hate. And the guy got very angry with me at this point, and he started he started to lambast me, and he started to insult me, and he was like, oh, nobody wants to be around, look at you, nobody, this, that, and the other, look at you, don't nobody want you. He just started going off. And I'm like, why would you say these hurtful things? And he's like, oh, well, look at what you're saying about me. You're saying I'm going to have her suicidal. So to him, me telling him that he's going to have this girl pre-suicidal is enough reason for him to start screaming at me, talking about how nobody wants me and all this other stuff. Start calling me old. Listen, this is his rationale. So basically, and then he showed me a picture of the girl, young girl. She looked like she can be more than 22. She looks like she can be anywhere more than 22, but she's a Latina, so you know she could be anywhere from 22 to 24. Who knows? She looked 18 to me, but I hope that she's not. Basically, he said the girl is in her 20s and she has 2 children already. So here we have a young lady who has already had 2 children deposited into her and left. And then now here's this other man talking about he's going to be there to face her problems with her. Meanwhile, he knows that he has a permanent woman at home. And this is a huge problem. Then he started to go on to me about, yeah, you know, it's all about the numbers. This is what he was telling me. It's all about the numbers, you know. It's a game. It's a game to him. And he says, well, at the end of his life, you know, he'll be able to tally up all the numbers because those numbers are indicative of his game. You know, how much throughout his life he's been able to maneuver the panties off of women. And I'm like, to what end? Like, at the end of the day, what's the point? And he's like, the numbers are the point. And I'm like, and then what? What are the numbers going to prove? What are they going to do? You're leaving a trail of heartache in your path, really only messing up your karma. You're messing up your own karma. And I'm like, for what? I'm like, what are you really gaining from this? I'm like, I'm like, and then you know what, part of the problem is that he's a man in his 30s. He's preying on these young girls in their 20s who don't know any better. And this is why I say, when I'm writing this book, Lessons from a Motherless Child, what I had to learn the hard way so that you don't have to, I'm going to talk about I'm going to talk about men like this and how to keep yourself safe. You know what? And the thing is that sex is not the worst thing that can happen to a person. Unfortunately, I know, yes, when you've been used, it hurts. Yes, I know. And like I said, I'm not standing up on a pedestal making it seem like this is stuff that I have never gone through. I have been used before. But I want to tell you, young ladies, listen, hear me out. Hear me. It honestly is not your loss. You know, loving somebody, trusting somebody is not the worst thing that you can do. As a matter of fact, it's quite healthy. And what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to shut yourself down. And in the book, we're going to talk about baggage. In the very first book, we're going to talk about baggage and how to release and free yourself from some of the old baggage of the past. Because what ends up happening is we got these guys who understand the game, and they go and they prey on these girls in their 20s, and they give them baggage. They hurt them so that when these women are in their 30s now, they're bitter, They've been left with a child or two or disease or whatnot. And they don't want to let anybody else in. They don't want to give them a chance. And then you know what happens when these men want to settle down? They look among the and it's like these people, these type of men mess it up for everybody. They mess it up for all of the good guys out there. They mess it up for everyone because these guys are I was talking to a young lady last night, and she's feeling kind of on the fence about the guy that she's dating because he's not romantic and he doesn't have charisma. And I'm like, listen, honey, is that what I'm like, you have to find a person who resonates with your core values, because the men with charisma and the men with this panache and this suave, those may not be the type of men that you want to entangle yourself with, because that stuff is not real. Listen to what he said to her. Oh, baby, I can't, I can't promise to solve all your problems, but I can be there with you so we can face them together. Oh, how romantic is that? So he's had all of his time in his 20s and his time in his 30s perfecting his game, and he's going back to the girls who don't know any better. Who don't understand it, and this is why I'm coming out as your big sister. Get on the mailing list for the book. Get on the mailing list. 10 different volumes about 10 crucial lessons that I learned throughout my life so that you don't have to. So what we have here is we need, as a culture, we need to stop teaching these boys that this is all right. As a culture, we're teaching these boys to hate and pillage women, and then we wonder why they grow into women scorn. And then when it's time for them to look on the hunt for somebody to settle down with, they go and they settle down with someone new to the game, who is fresh or on the market, who hasn't been hurt and devastated after they've left a burial ground of scattered hearts behind them. They go and they try to pick somebody fresh out of their mama's womb, and it's sad and it's devastating, and I don't want that to happen to you. I don't want you to let this pain make you bitter. I want you to let it make you better. And I'm going to tell you, my young sisters out there, opening up your heart, we're going to talk about this in the book, opening up your heart to a person does not make you weak. You have to make calculated and educated guesses, and you have to hold on. Number one, always, 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 always use protection. Have protected sex. You need to make him wait. You need to find out what his intentions are, because after a while, if his intentions are not pure, he's going to move on. And at least you don't have the transfer of energy of his penis shooting that bad energy into your body, rubbing and connecting souls with a person. You have to understand your limitations as a woman, and the fact that you're secreting oxytocin at a rate 5 times that of a man. Oxytocin is a binding chemical, and it makes you feel bound to your mate. And I want to talk, I want to talk about this in more videos, but I'm going to talk about this in the book. How being soft and opening up let me tell you, being hard is easy. Remaining soft and remaining pliable and remaining open and putting yourself out there, that's hard. That's the hard part. And I want to let you know that there are 2 different games going on. People like him are unenlightened. And honey, don't let that let you get down. Don't let that get you down. Honey, he's enlightened, and he's on a path to his own spiritual destruction. Because one day what's going to happen? I already know what's going to happen. He's going to ruin things with that young lady. He's going to do something that is going to slip him up with that adoring girl that he has at home. And he's going to ruin that. And a person like him is a prime candidate for being old and alone. I had some 60-year-old man trying to kick it to me the other day, talking about, can I get your phone number? And I'm looking at him. I showed you guys a picture on Facebook the other day when I had on that long wig when I went down to traffic court. And you know, the guys were going crazy for the wig. Some 60-year-old man talking about, can he get my number? And I'm like, listen, thinking to myself, it's far too late for you now, buddy. You spent all your 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s playing around, so that now you're 60 5 years from retirement, and how goodness knows how many years away from death. And now you're looking for some young little thing to come give you a chance when you had all your chances in your 20s and 30s. Girls, don't fall for it. And young girls, let me tell you something. If there's one thing that I would like for you not to fall for, is the lies that these older guys tell you, talking about, oh, he doesn't like women in their 30s because they got baggage and they got this and they got. No, honey, he likes you because you're naive and you don't know no better to the game. Somebody tell me, listen, somebody tell me some foolishness like, I can't promise to solve all your problems, but I can be there with you so we can face them together. Listen. Honey, don't tell me, show me, prove it. Prove it. If that's baggage, prove it. Prove it to me. You don't have to be nasty like I'm acting all forceful in the video. Just don't show me. Oh, rather, excuse me. Don't tell me, show me. Show me. You know what? Listen, put him to task. It's so, romantic and kind words are so nice and so easy to say. You know how to say talk is cheap? They're easy to say. It's doing that's the hard part. So tell him, oh honey, don't tell me, show me. Let him show her. Pull that wallet out, honey. Pull the wallet out. You want to start solving some problems? Look, my electricity has been due. Okay, listen, okay. Listen, okay. Okay. Scratch that from the record, okay? Listen. Pretend I didn't say that. Okay. Pretend. Just pretend, okay? All right. On an honest note. Yes, I was just joking. But seriously, you have to put them to task. If somebody says that they're going to be there for you listen, and this is another thing we need to talk about in depth. We need to talk about how you do not have sex with people who are just your quote-unquote friends. If a person does not want to be your man, if you can't open up your heart to them, you definitely don't want to open up your legs to them. So we're going to talk about all of that. Get on the mailing list for the book. We're going to go in depth. But I wanted to share this with you young ladies today, that there are a certain group of people out there who are feeding and leeching off of you, and your body is the booty. And I want to tell you, don't get bitter. Don't get bitter, because there are two different games going on simultaneously, and he's messing up his own future and his own karmic debt. You don't let that weigh you down. Next time, you just date smarter. You date smarter. You take your time. You get to know a person. Giving a person a chance, believing in love is not the worst thing that you can do. But protect yourself. Hedge your bets. Take your time. Make calculated guesses. And this is coming from me, your big sister, because I love you. Oh God, you have no idea how much I love you. I dedicate my life to helping you guys. That's what I do. I was put on this earth to help you. So let me help you get my secrets. Because, honey, your big sister had to learn the hard way. I've been hurt. I've been used and tossed out like yesterday's, I don't want to say tampon. I want to say something different. Excuse me. I want to say something different. I want to say something more eloquent. I've been used like, insert your thing here. But you know what? I realize that is truly his loss. It's his loss, because I'm a wonderful person who is a lot more than what it is that you see down here. Oh, honey. Oh, yes, it feels amazing in there. So I've heard. But that is not the best part of me. And if you think that it is, then you are the one who's missing out on an amazing human being. Honestly. And you have to have the self-esteem enough to be able to dust yourself off and keep on moving, girl. Keep on moving. Because it's his loss. Anybody who is of that mentality, baby, it's his loss. It's his loss. You have to, and that's why the first chapter is on self-esteem, because I'm going to teach you how to have ironclad, impenetrable That didn't come out right. Impenetrable. Penetratable. You know what I'm trying to say. Impenetrable. My New York accent stops me from being able to say certain things, so you have to forgive me. Self-esteem that's unable to be penetrated. I'm going to teach you how to have a force field of self-esteem around you, not to make you bitter, but to make you better, honey. Make you better. Let's hug, because this was a hard video, and I know I screamed at some of you in the beginning, but I only talk like that out of love. Honestly, I'm your big sister, and I don't want you to suffer through the same things that I suffered through. So if you're a young lady or a young man who is in need of some life lessons, get on the mailing list. The first book is going to be out in 2 weeks. On the mailing list, you have direct access to me. We'll be talking. You'll be able to vote on which chapters are published next, because I want to be able to get the chapters out that most people want to benefit from, or most people will find beneficial. And the first one is on self-esteem. Let's hug. 30 minutes talking. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. Oh, go out there and love one another, but most importantly, what? That's right, love yourself. TonyaTko. Come to my site, TonyaTko.com. Find me on Facebook, facebook.com/TonyaTko show. I'm on Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter as at TonyaTko, and that's Tonya with an O, yes, TonyaTko. And just stay up with me. You know, I just, listen, take advantage of your resource in this older, more mature woman. Please, take advantage of the resource. I can't do my 20s over, but I can use the lessons that I've learned to help you live yours better and smarter. Remember, don't get bitter, get better. Baby, and I'm out. TonyaTko, and I'm out. Your love guru. Peace.